actually saying, people. So let's make a stamp there. Let's see what's going on. Good morning, everyone. Jude is the dream. Would love to see him at our club. The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately, indeed, people. So yeah, if I share my screen with you, look, keep your thoughts and whatnot coming. I'm sure you all initially saw the Athletics article. Jude Bellingham's future, Liverpool, Real Madrid, City, and United. Now, for what it's worth, United could put the money down, and they tried to get him before Dortmund. You know, they wheeled him out in front of everyone. I personally believe he's going to end up at Liverpool. I hope to God it's Real Madrid. And, you know, City, you could never rule him out, learning to play under Pep Guardiola. Scrolling all the way down to the most relevant parts of this article, people, because there is no point reading bare of this apart from the relevant parts. First thing, you know, is actually, it says Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Chelsea, another club will be in for him. Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, and Man City are among those likely to be shopping in that position. You could add Barcelona to that list, but they are far more restricted financially than the others. It's too early to say where he'll end up, so this article will instead lay out the positions of the interested clubs and the various elements that will need to be in place for a deal to be done. I mean, even though Liverpool, didn't we hear FSG are not selling them? And what's their financial situation, especially if they're not in the champs? Liverpool have tried to buy Tchouaméni and Bellingham and Enzo Fernandez, so that has probably told you they're looking at a marquee midfielder. For what it's worth on Dortmund, forget the suitors for a minute. Bellingham's current club are vital to this process. The player under contract until the end of the 2024-25 season. Dortmund have no need to sell, but equally are unlikely to stand in the player's way if the money is right and he wants to leave. That's why they bought him. They knew that they would sell him back to these shores or abroad for a significant profit than what they spent to prize him from Birmingham. The German side have consistently made it clear they want around 150 million euros, which equates to 132 million pounds or 160 million dollars for their star man, a fee that will play a big part in who is able to do the deal. Through all of this process, it's important to remember that it's possible, albeit unlikely, that Bellingham stays another year in Germany. He's the key man at a big Champions League club and has worn the captain's armband on occasion. He will want to get this next move right, and if that means waiting, so be it. If that happens, don't be surprised if he extends his contract by a year with a set buyout clause for the following summer. Dortmund will certainly be happy, so that many clubs are interested in Bellingham. Competition usually means a good price is paid. I mean, you can deal with Liverpool if you want to deal with Liverpool, people. I'm just going to skip to where it says Arsenal. Real Madrid, we all know Real Madrid could have him, Camavinga, Valverde, and I'm probably Tchouaméni, and I'm probably missing one out. And Real Madrid is Real Madrid, really. Manchester City, obviously, they need to probably bring people in. For what it's worth, some in the industry feel Bellingham currently prefers Liverpool to City because he would be a better fit stylistically for Klopp's team. You know, you could see him doing that. He's probably enticed by being the next Gerrard. Man United have been linked with him and tried to get him. Scrolling all the way down. Anyone else? Probably not. There it is. Chelsea are big outsiders after spending 120 million on Fernandez. There are not many other clubs with the finances to do the deal, Arsenal included, despite being admirers of him. PSG have the financial backing, but a move to Liga is unlikely to appeal people. Allegedly, this is Arsenal's kit for next season. It's not the best, is it? A bit disappointed if that really is it. Again, scrolling. Where is it with Mason? With him? Where is it? So that's that with Jude. That's that with Jude Bellingham, people. It feels like I missed something else out. Would any of you take Mason Mount? As you know, Mason Mount is locked in contract talks, people. Again, his contract is up until is up in June 2024. Negotiations between Chelsea and Mount over a new deal have not yet led to an agreement, with several offers made last summer and in the autumn rejected by the 24-year-old. That has led to speculation that Mount could depart his boyhood side, and reports have suggested a number of suitors, most notably Liverpool, will attempt to prize him away from West London. So we'll have to see, really and truly. Maybe they do need to let Mr. Chelsea go. Again, Mount's future appears to be in the balance, people. He's got 12 months left, and they'll sell him in the summer. I wonder if Mikel Arteta will utilise the Chelsea-Arsenal relations. I'd prefer Kovacic, to be fair with you. Kovacic, will he still be a player in the summer? Probably not, but that's a player I'm more likely to want at Arsenal. Speaking of a former Chelsea midfielder, I mean, we've heard this about a gazillion times. Declan Rice is huge Mikel Arteta admirer as Arsenal deal edges closer. Declan Rice is a huge admirer of Mikel Arteta following the Spaniard's work to transform Arsenal into Premier League challengers in recent years, gassing it. Sources have told Football Insider. This site revealed on Monday, the 20th of February, that the Gunners lead the race for the 24-year-old and are in sustained contact with the midfielder's rep. So that's who we're getting in it, allegedly, if we're able to be successful. He was previously valued at 150 million. David Moyes might not be in a job, people. But sources say the race is now opening up for Arsenal to complete a sensational deal. The England international midfielder is widely expected to leave West Ham in the off-season after making no secret of his desire to play at the highest level possible. He has less than 18 months left to run on his contract at the London Stadium, and Arsenal are willing to raise his weekly wage into and beyond the 200k a week bracket. It's believed Rice's unwillingness to commit to a new deal means West Ham are only likely to be able to command a fee of between 70 to 80 million for their most sellable asset. That outlay is not expected to be a problem for Arsenal, who are likely to be buoyed financially ahead of the likely qualification for the Champions League this season. I mean, we're 50 odd points. You'd imagine 70 odd points does it, and then we're laughing, but we'll have to see. So there we have it, where Declan Rice is concerned, people. The capture of Rice would be just the latest in a number of exciting additions geared towards transforming Arsenal into a source to be reckoned with in European football. The captain of West Ham, the 24-year-old, has played every minute of every match in the Premier League so far this season. So we'll have to see, people. What's this? 23rd. Arsenal work on 2 midfield signings. What's been said here? We know we've spoken about Rice. The Gunners are also looking at a deal for Yuri Telemans as he prepares to walk away from Leicester, free agent this summer. Okay, so always linked with it. Once again, allegedly, Declan Rice is particularly keen on working with Mikel Arteta in the future, people. Let's see, man. Apparently, Ben Jacobs has said Arsenal's midfield priority will be Declan Rice, and West Ham are resigned to losing him. David Moyes, as you expect, has been quick to argue if Rice leaves, it should be for a British record transfer fee, but suitors are hoping for a fee of 70 to 80 million. This is ultimately because Rice's contract expires in the summer of 2024. But Chelsea's big spending could inflate the market and thus Rice's price. You can understand why selling clubs, especially for top-tier central midfielders, will point to Enzo Fernandez's 107 million fee and ask for something similar. That would go for if we did what I want of getting Manu Kone. Obviously, that's going to indirectly affect, what people might ask for Jude Bellingham, so on and so forth. I still think Rice will go for cheaper than that, but how much so will depend on whether West Ham get a bit of a bidding war. Chelsea also really want Rice. Manchester United and Newcastle United cannot be ruled out either, although I understand Rice's preference is to stay in London. That won't be a deal breaker, but Arsenal and Chelsea can certainly use it to their advantage. Rice also wants Champions League football. Whether or not that means instantly remains to be seen, but Arsenal can clearly use this to their advantage given where they're heading. Rice has also spoken glowingly about Arteta. So it's probably fair to term Arsenal the favourites right now. But as we saw with the pursuit of Mudryk, that doesn't always mean a huge deal this far out. If Chelsea offer big or above market value, Arsenal would have to go against their transfer market principles. I mean, go all you want over Declan Rice. Just make sure you've got alternatives is what I would say. Apparently, Arsenal and Tottenham eye Raphinha and he can win Ballon d'Or. Not too sure on that, people. Apparently, this article says he's got interest from Arsenal and Spurs. Fair enough. Apparently, according to this, the former Sporting Lisbon Wizkid is now closer than ever to leaving the Scudetto holders, dropped recently by Milan coach Paoli with contract talks ongoing. Apparently, the 7-time European champions currently have no intention of meeting Leao's demand. The jet-heeled winger has a £130 million release clause in his contract, but hopes to knock some 60 million off that fee with Chelsea and Arsenal, just two clubs preparing to test the waters. I mean, I think he's lit, but he's a left winger. He can be groomed to play up front. I don't think he's ready to do that right now. So as much as I like him and think he would be good, and I do think he's hot and cold at times, as much as I consider him impressive, it don't really make sense. The links to Arsenal, really, but maybe that's something to be wary of. We was linked with Tino Livramento yesterday, people. He's currently injured, but the Southampton 20-year-old fullback is quite talented. Allegedly, Ben Jacobs said, Ben Jacobs did say we're linked with him. This article hasn't said anything about Ben. Oh, here we go. Looking at Ben Jacobs, he's spoken on Ivan Fresnadar and I believe Tino Livramento. Arsenal will look at right back this summer to add a bit of depth and plan for the long term. Arsenal's priority remains Ivan Fresnadar. Fresnadar opted to stay at Real Valladolid to the end of the season, despite offers from both the Gunners and Dortmund. Fresnadal's agent actually said up to 30 clubs had made inquiries for the 18-year-old. Newcastle were also tracking him. In the end, Fresnadal was reluctant to move, even with options from some suitors to be loaned back. Despite being a fantastic prospect, he's still developing and has played less than 15 La Liga games. It makes sense he didn't want to rush into anything with the summer, giving him time to transition to a new club. Once again, Jacob adds that Arsenal and City are also likely to keep monitoring Tino Livramento at Southampton in the next few transfer windows. Tino Livramento is another interesting option who's had horrific luck with injuries. The 20-year-old was magnificent last season until he picked up a serious ACL against Brighton last April and recently suffered another setback this January when returning with Saints' B team. Chelsea have a buyback option active in 2023, but it's not thought they'll activate it, especially now Gusto has signed from Lyon, and all suitors will obviously have doubts given his long spell out on the sidelines. But Livramento will be monitored when fit with a view to a possible move over the next 2 to 3 windows by both Arsenal and Manchester City. And if he hadn't suffered his injury, he may already be at one of those clubs already, potentially. Apparently, we were linked with this guy in January, people. Real Betis ace Luis Enrique reacts when quizzed about £44 million Arsenal move. Specifically, what have you said? Sevilla, Man United, as well as Arsenal and Aston Villa have been linked with him. He said, it makes me want to keep growing, but those things about other teams wanting to buy me, I don't think about that. In fact, I told my agent that I only think about Betis and playing. I feel very calm at Betis. Everyone is always helping me, the coaching staff, Pellegrini, the players. I'm feeling good here. When a young player comes from Brazil at that stage, change is difficult. But here I found fellow Brazilians who are helping me a lot. I feel very calm here. Fair enough. Fair enough, man. So hopefully we keep monitoring him and anyone else, people. Apparently Mavropanos could be joining Inter Milan, people. Inter Milan have allegedly made a £12 million bid. I don't think he'll help you, Inter Milan, but fair enough, people. Apparently Sergio Dest reckons he's made a mistake going to AC Milan and not Arsenal. Nah, I think he did just all right. I would have cried if we signed you. We've been linked with Montpellier striker Wahi, and apparently he has switched agents. He's also been linked with Tottenham Hotspur. Why the 20-year-old has switched agents, I don't know, but he has, people. So there you have that. Arsenal don't think they can sign a £132 million ace years after Gunners had deal kind of done. Not sure if that's it is what it is. Arsenal admire Jude Bellingham, but seemingly think they don't quite have the money to go and sign the Dortmund star. I mean, everyone here could have told you that. Fair enough. When did we have a deal done? Tony Adams told Sky Sports in 2020 that the Gunners had a deal to sign Bellingham from Birmingham City, kind of done. But didn't the next Arsenal scout the other day come out and say they tried, but he was deemed too expensive? If he was too expensive then, don't know what he is now. And I've got a lot of love for Tony Adams. And obviously you're more plugged up and connected than us. But are you in the position to really tell the truth or say anything sensible there? Ruben Neves looks set to leave Wolves in mid-claims Arsenal want to sign him. Allegedly, that's according to the Athletics journalist Steve Medele, who is summing up all the latest at the Molineux. Neves is one of a number of midfielders who has been on Arsenal's radar in recent weeks. The 25-year-old fits the profile of an all-action midfielder Mikel Arteta wants to bolster his squad. I'm all on that. I prefer him over Telemans, even though I think Telemans is good, really. I think Telemans is more able to do some stuff in the final third, but he's more of an all-rounder. A natural leader, Neves would likely fit in very well among the Arsenal squad were he to leave Wolves. Fair enough. When asked about Neves signing a new deal, as for Neves, I would never rule anything out. The expectation at Wolves is that he'll leave at the end of the season. But as was the case last summer, there has to be a club willing to pay what he and Wolves wants, and there won't be many clubs in that market. Fair enough. He's previously been valued at 50 million. His contract expires in 2024. So Wolves are going to have to make a decision on the 25-year-old or suffer the consequences. Apparently, Arsenal have now held talks with Granit Xhaka over a new deal. That's according to 90 Minute, people. We saw that yesterday. Granit Xhaka, a valued member of Mikel Arteta's side, people. He is keen to extend his stay at the club and talks have taken place. It currently doesn't shed any light on how long the contract is or how far the progress is, but yeah, it is what it is. And with El Nene signing a new deal, it is what it is. Arsenal's women pay rise is 30%, but still behind men. Arsenal Women's Football Club has increased pay by almost 30% according to latest published accounts. However, the entire team still earns considerably less than some individual male players. Respectfully, obviously, but it's nice to see that progress has been made. Journalist provides update on Vlahovic amid Arsenal interest. Ben Jacobs, what he said. Vlahovic is the other one I think to keep a really close eye on, because there's a real opportunity for a Premier League club to come in the summer and sign him from Juventus, because there's so much upheaval because their finances aren't great. They are now not likely. They are not likely now because of their 15 points deduction to make the Champions League. And even though Maximiliano Allegri could well go at the end of the season, at the moment, Vlahovic, despite scoring goals, is not as happy playing under Allegri as he was in the Fiorentina system before he moved. Well, I don't think anyone cares. Good luck to you, mate. Good luck to you, mate. We've spoken about Fresnador already. Obviously, Inter Milan are struggling financially as well. Smash the like button, people. Don't forget, completely off topic. Where is it gone? But we are watching Man United versus Barcelona later today. And also, people, on the weekend, we're watching Leicester at Arsenal. Make sure you smash the like button on them, turn on your notification buttons and all of that good stuff. But staying on task here, Inter Milan apparently are struggling financially. And if they do want to commit Lukaku, they're going to have to sell someone, really, whether that's Bastoni or something. Lautaro Martinez wouldn't reject a move to Arsenal, so why would he? Reports connecting Lautaro Martinez to Arsenal have emerged again in recent days. The Argentine has long been revered at Arsenal, with the club contemplating bringing him on board in 2021, but that deal never materialized. Martinez is undoubtedly one of the league's most dangerous attackers in Serie A this season. He has 13 goals and 3 assists in 23 league appearances. All indications point to him becoming a reliable goal source for Arsenal. Inter appear to be in financial trouble. They require a big sale this summer. Can we bring Barella then? And Martinez could be that. Otherwise, unlike in 2021, when a number 9 could easily turn down a transfer to the Emirates, at this moment in time, who would turn down a move to Arsenal? On Give Me Sport, the journalist Peter Rook explained why he believes Arsenal will get Martinez if they're serious about him. The pundit suggests Lautaro has been in good form for Inter Milan recently. I think he would be interested in a move to the Premier League, and I'm sure Arsenal and a number of clubs are keeping tabs on his situation, which they probably are. Let's see exactly what that has said, people. He would be interested in a move, allegedly, people, as you can see there. Apparently, they could let him go for 70 to 80 million. This article has also said Chelsea and Manchester United could also get involved as well. Apparently, people, we had Barcelona rejected a 70 million euro pound bid from Arsenal for Raphinha, allegedly. That had to have been in January. Fair enough, people. Apparently we offered 70 million euros, which was rejected in January by the Catalans. Fair enough. The 26-year-old has kind of been in mixed fortunes. Even when he scores for Barcelona, the goals kind of cloud the games. We've also been linked with Højlund, who I've spoken about more times than I care for now. Bring the striker if you can. Arsenal prepare monstrous offer for Ramos Højlund, with the Atalanta star earning comparisons to Erling Haaland, but Arsenal face competition from Real Madrid, with the Danish striker lined up to succeed Karim Benzema, and some reports say to play backup. He signed for 50 million. I've said it before. He's got good height, good physical qualities, variety in his game, links up well, pulls into the channels, wins fouls. He's a very honest player, good technical level, decent left foot, plays loosely like Haaland, but I'll be wary of comparing him to that. You could see why people would like him. And, the Atalanta are going to make a lot of money. Bring him and Scalvini, the centre half from Atalanta. Allegedly, we're preparing enough for people. Arsenal are now set to test Atalanta in the summer with a monstrous offer, according to this Italian publication, people. What is a monstrous offer? They signed him for, was it 17 million euros, the article said? So I have to see. He's 6'4". He's got a lot of height. His gaffer has said Højlund has this spirit, energy, intensity, but also technical quality that is just remarkable. He still has so much margin for improvement, says Gasperini too. He has very, very similar characteristics to Haaland, not just his face. He's so quick. He's under 11 seconds over 100 meters, and that's not even trying very hard. Considering his height, he has low center of gravity and can move his legs very fast. Fair enough. I'm convinced he'll have a great career. He gets stronger every year. So yeah, people. He began his professional career at Copenhagen, where he got 5 goals in 32 games. The young forward then scored 12 goals in 21 games for Stuttgart after moving to the Austrian side for £1 million, before obviously making the switch to Atalanta, people. He's been capped twice by his country. He made his debut last year. We'll have to see exactly what happens there. Fabrizio Romano on that has said Ramos Højlund has been linked with a move to Arsenal by various outlets. I'm not sure he's going to leave Atalanta in 2023. I don't see Arsenal as an option for Højlund. They have Gabriel Jesus, Eddie Nketiah and Balogun. For sure, Højlund wants to play, not be on the bench. I'm told he could stay at Atalanta for 1 more year. People, I'm live at 2 p.m. as well with Parisian Londoner, and I'm live at 7:50 to watch Man United Barcelona. So yeah, Fabrizio Romano, not you know, has poured cold water on all of that, people, depending on where you read. Again, that's potentially our kit for next season. Spezia collapsed after Kyrie Arsenal transfer. What does this mean? Oh, they're just taking 2 points since that. Fair enough, man. That's you lot's problem. Shouldn't have sold it to us, isn't it? Thank you, though. Should we refresh this page? Doesn't appear there's anything new there. We know El Nene has extended his contract at Arsenal by another year. We've just spoken about Højlund. Multiple Serie A clubs interested in Balogun. Arsenal leading the race for Yuri Telemans. Kieran Tierney to decide his future at the end of the season. Arsenal want to provide Declan Rice 200k a week, and it's reported that we can get that deal done once again for 70 to 80 million. City are to rival Arsenal for the signing of Declan Rice. We're monitoring Wahi. Several Serie A teams are interested in Balogun. Several Premier League teams allegedly are interested in him. Arsenal are ahead of in the pursuit of signing Denzel Dumfries. I don't know if that's true. We've been linked with Jesper Limstrong before. It all depends where you want to read into, people. So with that being said, it all depends where you're reading, essentially.